luckily for us, we do have the Hey in NATO with us today. I'm talking about AirBnB and Alex SCHLEIFER. And we'll hear later on about the G in GAFA with Carlo Desarrobiondo from Google. But for now, let's see how Airbnb is trying to define itself today. You're released from duty off stage, so you can go off stage. Thank you for the mic. If we're ready with the Skype session with Alex SCHLEIFER, I'll be happy to see him appearing on the screen anytime soon. Alex is actually the head of design for Airbnb, and of course, he couldn't make it today, but is with us via Skype. We are going to talk with him about, this revolution with Airbnb. A lot has been said about the Uberization of other sectors, but we can talk about the Airbnbization also of travel and transportation. So if we're ready anytime soon, can you please give me Alex on the screen so that we can have an interview with him? And apparently we don't. So let's review your tweets in this amount of time. We had a great reaction of Nicolas Loubet saying, apparently all this session is about survivre en accélérant ou survivre en coopérant. Citation à méditer, and I think we're trying to connect with Skype at the same time. Et Alexandre Zermati qui nous dit là aussi sur Twitter, finalement c'est toujours ce conflit entre les modernes et entre les autres. Donc n'hésitez pas à continuer à envoyer vos réactions sur Twitter. Vous voyez que je suis en train de les suivre minute par minute, seconde par seconde. Maybe a quick word with you. Actually, what can we think about when we're hearing about the illustration from bookings? And we're about to hear what Airbnb has to say. We're hearing about transparency, and one word which was quite interesting, actually, with Peter and bookings, what this peer-to-peer challenge. Yesterday with Jimmy Wells, we've talked a lot about this peer-to-peer factor when it comes to the knowledge sharing economy, and it's also something really meaningful when it comes to travel and transportation right now.
Yeah. Definitely, Marjorie. I mean, I think there are, in Booking.com, two examples of this peer-to-peer. The first one, the obvious one, is definitely user reviews. Because that's coming back to my point before, which was to say that small makes big. I mean, you're going to have individual reviews, and at the end, you're going to create a lot of values from these individual reviews. What's interesting also regarding that is the kind of partnership that Booking.com has with TripAdvisor. Because you can find the reviews from TripAdvisor on Booking.com, and vice versa. When you go to TripAdvisor, now you have more and more branding from Booking.com on TripAdvisor. So the question also, based on that, would be, at the end, who owns the user? Is it the booking platform? Is it the review platform? Is it the Google guys? Because I think, and maybe Peter could comment on that, Booking.com is one of the largest buyers of ACM, so search engine marketing from Google. I don't know how much you're spending, Peter, but I think it's more than billions of euros. Quite a lot. You don't want to comment there. Which, in fact, come back to my point. I think?
Absolutely. But end your sentence
and the last point, maybe that was not commented by Peter, is on peer-to-peer. Booking.com recently released their data not only on hotels, but on non-hotels properties. They never did that before, and I think they're doing that just to counter Airbnb and to show that also Booking.com is a peer-to-peer vacation platform.
And apparently, Alex is about to be back. Only happens at Digiworld Summit, right? So, Alex, can you hear me?
I can. Hi, can you hear me?
That's wonderful. We can, actually. We can see you, too.
Great.
That's wonderful. So actually, Alex, you're head of design for Airbnb, and I'm just wondering, how would you define those days? Are you a platform? Are you a social network? Are you a marketplace? What are you guys?
Well, we're definitely a platform because we provide a technology layers between our guests and our hosts. We provide a surrounding structure of support for that. But we're also a two-sided marketplace, right? Where we connect a guest to a host and supply that transaction. It depends how you really define it. I think beyond that, I mean, we're definitely a community. I wouldn't call it a social network. I think social network has different connotations. But if we're about connecting people to each other, then we're definitely a community, and we're seeing that day in, day out as people connect and make friendships, on the platform.
And actually, can you please just give us a quick facts and figures so that we can size Airbnb?
Oh, sure. I love sharing numbers. They say designers don't like numbers, but yeah, we've had 60 million travelers since we launched Airbnb. The incredible number, though, is that 35 million of those were just this year, right? And Europe has, we're often seen as an American company, but actually I'm proud to say, being French myself, that Europe is actually accounting for more than 50% of that travel, and France is a big part of that. And so we now have 2 million listings. A few years ago, we only had one. It was our founder's apartment. Now we have 2 million listings, which is incredible. We're in 191 countries since we got Cuba on board, which is great. Only a few countries left. And our biggest night peaked at 1 million stays, which is very large indeed. So it's been quite a ride. But France is actually a huge market for us. I think we have over 6 million guests coming to France, 200,000 listings, and we've just released an economic impact survey that I think showed that we brought 2.5 million euros to the French economy. So it's big.
Yeah. Well, metric never lies, and that's for the facts and figures. But actually, you guys are torn between a mass market approach and a higher promise for personalization. So how do you cope with this schizophrenic strategy?
Yeah, it's an interesting challenge, right? Well, the truth is, every trip, because of the way we work, every trip on Airbnb is unique, right? It's a unique connection. Every hosts make every experience entirely unique. So how do you create a technology platform? How do you create a system that facilitates that? And that's actually really difficult because computers are good at many things, but they're not really good at these unique kind of human moments. But we're becoming really incredibly good at matching, at finding out, who you are and what type of place, and connecting you with the hosts. But at the end of the day, what allows us to do this is that we've really used our platform, our technology, our people on the ground to foster this sense of community. And because at the end of the day, it's our host that provides this really, truly 100% personal, unique service. A lot of industries talk about personalization. So, you get somewhere, there's your name on the TV, or they know, that you like a certain type of wine. I mean, that's customization. It's not personalization. Personalization can only happen with human-to-human contact, and it's by communicating with our hosts and fostering this community, this trusted community, has allowed us to really scale up this really truly uniquely personal service. It's what attracted me to the company. It's a challenge. It's really difficult to do. It means that we cannot automate everything. It means that we need to have a really, personal and deeply human connection with our community.
So following up, actually, a lot have been said about the Uberization of everything. So do you guys want to Airbnb practically every single sector? What the limit? Sky's the limit?
Yeah, I mean, I get asked that a lot from everyone, including friends and family. The weirdest one we've been asked is like, you could do this for cats and dogs, provide cats and dogs. And we have cats and dogs as part of the apartments. You can definitely stay in an apartment in Paris that has cats in it. Mm-hmm. But I think, the thing to understand about Airbnb is that we're entirely mission driven. And you might have seen our slogan on our advertising that says, belong anywhere. And that's more than a slogan to us. It's actually our mission. We're guided by the mission that we want to create a world where anyone can belong anywhere. And that means that we need to create the environment and the technologies that allow for that to happen. So if it helps in that mission, we will do it. So that probably means, if you wanted to rent a power tool, maybe not. But you have to think of travel is more than a home. It's about the experience that you have in a city. And our hosts are already providing that. But what are the different experiences that we can attach to that to make you feel like you belong in a city a little bit more? And change the way we look at travel.
And actually, that's very, a crucial word here. You're talking about the experience. And I've heard Nicolas Ferrari, the CEO of AirBnB France, a few days ago, talking about the fact that you guys are way more blurred lines between the online community and the offline experience you want to share with your users and members. So in this very meaning, what did you deeply transformed our behaviors, the notion of property, our relation to others?
Well, I think we've already seen it. The community has really become a movement and one that is passionate about what they do, and we're seeing it every day through the stories that people are saying. But I think what we're noticing as well is that the cities that are forward thinking are also working with us to help us define what home sharing really is. So we've announced that we were going to pay taxes. We're working in every major city to work with the governments to make that happen, because it is new and it requires change, and it requires us to look at it carefully and make sure that we support the community and that we help cities grow, that we don't hinder the growth of cities. So all of that's been going incredibly well. And the world is changing. In the future, I think, we're already seeing homes built entirely with sharing in mind, for example. And technology will facilitate some of the things that we're trying to do, but people make the difference. So for me, I often say I'm trying to, design myself out of a job. I tell my team that our job is to try to make people look less at a screen. Our job is to get people out into the world and enjoy the places that they want to see and the places that they want to experience. So we're actually using technology to make technology go away. Companies measure things for engagement. We measure how little somebody uses our app and gets out there. And I think that's important to understand because for us, it's really, we're really all about facilitating that human-to-human interaction. If we didn't have to use technology for it, if there was a magical way to do it, we would do that instead. But that's how we are today, and it's been an incredible ride, and it's very different. I worked in very many different industries where this wasn't the case. So it's refreshing, but it's incredibly difficult and incredibly challenging, and I love it.
Alex, we do have a question from Xavier L'Orphelin, our co-chairman for this very session. Xavier, what would you like to ask?
Yeah, just a quick question for you, Alex, regarding the platform war. So what's your view on the acquisition of HomeAway by Expedia? How do you see that?
Well, I'm not here to comment about that. I mean, there's definitely going to be a consolidation in the market as everything heats up. These are things that matter. There's a lot of people I like a lot at both of these companies, so I hope they do well. I think the better we do, the better it is for everyone. So I'm all for it. I think we're a pretty different company because of the way we've tackle things like payments and things like that, and the way we're looking at our community. And I think there's space for everyone in that market.
Smart competitions, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex, for being here with us via Skype. We'll leave you with that. Thank you again. And I think you deserve some applause, actually.
Thank you. Thank you.